Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my Mortgage Market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with the peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You chose to be here. This is not by accident that you're here now and in this program. You want to take your performance to the highest level. You want to dominate. You physically work hard. Now that's important. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available to you. Not just for some, but for you to live it fully. You can do it too. Enjoy this journey. This program is your secret weapon. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio.
And this is Be a Beast. The question begs, do you want to be a beast? Do you want to perform at a higher level? That is the purpose of this show right here on Angels Radio, AM 830. I'm Nelson, and with Dave Austin, mental performance coach extraordinaire. How do you like that tag?
I love it.
You can
keep it coming.
Keep it coming. You can call, click, or text us. We want you reaching out. 888-888-2136 or click through at extremefocus.com or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. Dave, we're coaching performance from the locker room to the boardroom. We're helping people, bottom line, perform better.
Well, it's such an honor to be able to share these stories. Previously we found out about how a flying fish and Walt Disney, they had something in common.
Nobo, the flying fish, no boundaries. No frickin' boundaries. Nobo, the flying fish. And it's remarkable because that storyline talks about how the flying fish, an unusual creature that can move out of its environment and, like Roger had shared, fly up to 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles outside of what it was designed to live in.
And the beauty of the program with this whole beast concept is now you say Nobo. And instantly, that triggers your mind. So it snaps you into a certain mental mode.
Right.
Today's guest is going to, you talk about a mentally strong. I mean, we're going to find out he's physically very strong. But to do what he's done, he's had to be very mentally strong. So there's keys that can snap you when you're at that place of pressure and like, can I go another step?
When your body's saying, that's it, stop.
Yeah, stop. And that's what's the beauty of it. You can just go Nobo. There are no boundaries. There's no, and just by that positive thought, positive energy is power. It lifts you into it.
Well, and it's the same of Roger Anthony's testimony when we bring him out of the bush. And he's talking about his learning anchor system, but he's applying this as an opportunity, as he states, in battling his own stage 4 cancer, where he's training his mind to overcome the physical pain, to overcome the mental roadblocks that come up, that creep up, of being diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, and him welcoming that as this is an opportunity for me to apply what I coach and shine.
Well, there's just so many levels of focus. And when you really work a daily program to really anchor your core beliefs, everything becomes open to you. But it is like anything else. You were a world-ranked tennis player. And what did you do to become that? You practice every day. Well, guess what? There's practices you can do to get yourself in the right mindset on a daily basis. And your whole world shifts.
In the world-ranked tennis player. Thank you so much. I had Billie Jean King and Michael Chang on previous shows, and we were talking about, here, Billie Jean, 39 Grand Slam championships. Michael Chang, the youngest to ever win a Grand Slam, and then my world ranking below that. Just suffice it to say, a little bit below that. You're listening to Nelson Radio. Call us. We want you reaching out to us direct. 888-888-2136, or easy enough, text the word BEAST to 313131. I often say that if I knew today what I could have used then as a professional athlete, whether it's Respa the crocodile or Mima and Lima the armadillos, Respa being that trigger that snaps you right back into relax, evaluate.
Yeah,
strategize, patience, and then act.
You and I are in the same boat. I was a world-ranked tennis player too, as you know. But, it wasn't until after I came off the tour that I really studied this whole thing. And I went back years later and decided, I wanted to be number one. Mm-hmm. I never allowed myself. I had a world ranking, but I was never a number one.
Right.
Now, the senior tour is not
I was number one in my own mind.
Yeah, I wasn't. That's why I couldn't play.
Yeah.
I couldn't be number one because I wasn't number one in my own mind. So I set my goal, and I was very clear on my goal. I wanted to be number one. And, I became number one in my age group by having a clear goal with a timeline, which is really what we're going to be talking about today on this show with our special guest. We keep teasing our special guest. He's an exciting guy, and I can't wait to get him on this show.
And we've referenced Nelson Mandela, obviously, as he passed away earlier this month. But another quote, and it fits so well for who our guest is coming up, the Iron Cowboy. But get this, let me just get your reaction to this. And Roger's going to sit up straight, I know, when he hears this. It is impossible until it is done. How do you like that? Nelson Mandela saying it is absolutely impossible. I agree with you. Until somebody goes out and does it.
Well, that's like James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, our guest today. Most people would say that's impossible what he's done. Mm-hmm. I mean, I said it personally, and
you were in his living room with his wife. Share that story.
Well, it was so amazing because he has something he can't share yet with us. He'll be breaking news on this. We'll bring him back to share what he's about to do. He's already set 2 world records, but I remember when they told me what it was. His wife. I thought, that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. And I'm the biggest optimist around. But I looked at his wife, and his wife looked me square in the eye. She goes, he can do it. I just went, wow.
And it's so perfect for what Roger's going to unpack with today's animal, the meerkat.
Yes.
And about timelines and goal setting and having that North Star that you're navigating to. It's going to fit so well. And it's the only way somebody like the Iron Cowboy can do what he does. I know our listeners are going, who the heck is the Iron Cowboy? This guy is a phenom.
He is. 2 world records. And when you hear he's coming up next, you're going to listen to, he's in the Guinness Book of World record.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there, so it's truth. This is not like, when you hear it, you go, no, that's not even physically possible. And yet, yeah, this guy's doing it. And I've been in his living room and met his wife and his kids. He's a family man, and there's such a support system around him. It's awesome.
It's coming up. We've got the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence. I'm with Dave Austin, myself, Nelson. You're listening to Be a Beast on Angels Radio, AM 830. Reach out to us. You can call us direct, 888-888-2136. Click through at extremefocus.com or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. We're going to dive deeper on the meerkat and having that timeline of planning and positioning and goal setting and how that relates, how everything is systematic. There's an architecture to what we do. It's just not this random, hey, I'm going to think about this kind of campaign. Brianna Noel and her Christmas duet with her sister Brittany. Listen to this. We'll be up with James Lawrence next.
Ducks Radio AM 830, KLAA.
If something happened to you, would you want the government deciding who takes care of your kids or who will inherit your assets? Do you want your children paying thousands of dollars in legal fees to probate attorneys? Don't let your family fall victim to probate or online estate planning. Nelson Radio recommends taking action now with their trusted friends at O.C. Wills and Trust Attorneys. Not only do their experienced attorneys create a comprehensive estate plan for you, but unlike those other internet sites that are not law firms, they provide you expert legal advice to make sure your plan is designed for your specific situation. The most important people in your life deserve an estate plan done right. Call today for a free consultation. 949-424-5292. That's 949-424-5292. Professional legal direction to protect your family. Call O.C. Wills and Trust's attorney at 949-424-5292 or text O.C. Wills to 313131.
Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136 or text BEAST to 313131.
Ducks Radio AM 830 KLAA.
This is our Be a Beast series right here on Angels Radio AM 830. You got to contact us. This is this training mechanism that we have. Be a Beast 12-step process has you perform better. It trains your mind. Dave Austin, mental performance coach. You can contact us 888-888-2136, extremefocus.com if you're on the net, or you can simply text the word BEAST to 313131 and we'll respond back to you immediately. And Dave, we have in this segment, it's a treat. The Iron Cowboy, we've been talking about him, James Lawrence. What, as you introduce him, impresses you most about his story?
Well, it's just as our listeners are going to get to hear this, and I'm so excited to have him because more people have got to hear his story. I mean, it's so remarkable. What impresses me the most is that getting to know him, he talks about, when he has that barrier where it looks like he can't go on, he shifts into even beast mode at the highest level, and it becomes easier, not more difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
This will be fun to unfold this story.
So here, let's talk a little bit about, we've been teasing you about the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence. So, James, would you share with our audience your first world record?
Yeah, hey, thanks, guys. Happy to be here. The first world record I broke was in 2010, and it was 22 half Ironmans in 30 weeks. And then in 2012, I didn't want to just be the half Ironman world record holder, and so I set my sights on doing 30 full Ironmans through 11 countries in 2012. And we bested the previous world record by more than 10 events.
Let's go back to the 2010, and for our listeners, exactly the distances in a half Ironman. You did 22 of them. What were the distances?
So the distances on a half Ironman is a 1.2-mile swim, a 56-mile bike ride, followed by a 13.1 half marathon run.
And you did 22 of them in 30 days.
30 weeks.
30 weeks. I mean, yeah, 30. I mean, that's almost one a week, and your body's got to recover. I mean, let me ask you this, because I don't think you can do that and then come right back around and then do, 30 Ironmans in a year. How do you set your goals? I mean, how did you even see this as being possible? But you had to be pretty precise in what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no winging it. There was definitely a methodology behind it. And until we defined exactly what we wanted to do and got a clear path, there was no chance of achieving it. And then once we set that clear path and had enough conviction, it just started knocking them down, and it became easy.
It became easy. So what about when the naysayers get in the way? I mean, you talk about this clear conviction. I always talk about having a North Star that you can navigate to so that when those naysayers, when the white noise of those naysayers begins to creep up, you still have your vision on where you're heading. For you, what was that?
Yeah. For me, one, I just think I personally chuckle when there's naysayers because it gives me motivation, and I think they're actually just jealous because they wish they could be doing something extraordinary and doing something that challenges their body and their mind. But for me, I want to set the best example I possibly can for my kids, and everything I do is to teach them the lessons that nothing is impossible. And I mean, to quote the great Walt Disney, it's kind of fun to do the impossible.
Kind of fun to do the impossible. We're listening to the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You can call or click or text us. 888-888-2136. Click through to see James' story at extremefocus.com or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. James, I think we have a common denominator. As I was courting my wife over 30 weeks, she said no to me 22 times in a row each time I asked her out. That's as close as I get to endurance relative to you. But now with your current world record, share with our listeners on what you've gone out and accomplished in 2012.
Yeah, so 2012, I like I said, I didn't want to just be the half Ironman world record holder, and we wanted to set a goal that was seemingly impossible. and it was to do 30 Ironmans over the course of the 2012 year, and it just happened to be, in order to get them all in, we had to travel through 11 countries. An Ironman itself is very physically and mentally demanding, and you actually get broken down. Add in the complication of international travel, coordinating all of your own logistics. The immune system gets hammered when you do things like this, and I didn't get sick once over the course of the year. I was just so focused on what I was doing and achieving that goal that I just blew right through the previous goal of 20 and just headed right to 30.
It's remarkable, and you shared this with us off air, but in terms of your performance actually improved as you went across those 30 weeks.
Yeah, if you were to take my cumulative time over the first half of the quest and then add the second half, I actually got faster in the second half, and I actually won the 24th race of the year. And on my 27th race, I pulled a boy with cerebral palsy named Dayton over the entire 140-mile Ironman race.
You pulled him through the water as he was in a raft. You towed him behind your cycling event and then pushed him through the marathon.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Fortunately, we have that on film at extremefocus.com, and you can actually, our Extreme Focus on Facebook, you can watch him do this. It's remarkable. It brought tears to my eyes watching you, James.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, James, thanks for sharing.
I actually get teared up every time I watch it.
Thanks for sharing your story. It leads so well into what Roger Anthony is going to be talking about, Deputus, the Meerkat, and the transition of turning dreams into goals. This is Be a Beast on Angels Radio, AM 830. You're with Dave Austin, mental performance coach, myself, Nelson. You can reach out to us direct, 888-2136, extremefocus.com if you're on the net, or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. From the locker room to the boardroom, we're guiding your success with testimonies like the Iron Cowboy and what he's done. 30 Ironman in 1 year. Unbelievable. Stay with us.
Ducks Radio AM 830 KLAA.
If something happened to you, would you want the government deciding who takes care of your kids or who will inherit your assets? Do you want your children paying thousands of dollars in legal fees to probate attorneys? Don't let your family fall victim to probate or online estate planning. Nelson Radio recommends taking action now with their trusted friends at O.C. Wills and Trust Attorneys. Not only do their experienced attorneys create a comprehensive estate plan for you, but unlike those other internet sites that are not law firms, they provide you expert legal advice to make sure your plan is designed for your specific situation. The most important people in your life deserve an estate plan done right. Call today for a free consultation. 949-424-5292. That's 949-424-5292. Professional legal direction to protect your family. Call O.C. Wills and Trust's attorney at 949-424-5292 or text O.C. Wills to 313131.
Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136 or text BEAST to 313131.
Ducks Radio AM 830 KLAA.
Brianna Noel and her Christmas duet with her sister Brittany. This is Be a Beast on Angels Radio, AM 830. I'm with mental performance coach Dave Austin and myself, Nelson. Call, click, or text. That's how you reach out to us, 888-888-2136 or extremefocus.com, or simply texting the word BEAST to 313131. It's always great to be with Roger Anthony, and he's going to unpack, I don't know if you remember, Dave, the tennis player, Miroslav Machir. His nickname was the Meerkat.
Yes. Oh, gosh. He had, at Wimbledon, we got to know him a little bit, those that follow tennis. He had Borg down, and when Borg was in his heyday,
right,
he had won the first two sets. He was on his way.
and then ran out of gas. And it became a great lesson in terms of controlling what you can control in the field of competition and then being prepared to deal with the things that you can't control. It fits so well into our Be a Beast 12 process training. And so with that, we've got Roger Anthony coming out of the bush.
Hey, Roger, so we had James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, on, and what a feat he's done. I know you know him and you know his story. You've been listening to the show too. We need you now to tie in that anchor system that you do so beautifully and bring us about how does a meerkat relate to James Lawrence?
Fantastic, Dave, and it's great to be back on out of the bush and into the big smoke. Here's what touches me. I mean, when you think about James Lawrence, he's not doing anything ordinary by way of world standards. It's extraordinary. But the big key, his mind doesn't see it as extraordinary. It sees it as normal because he's trained his mind to be really specific in what it is he's going to achieve. Not what he wants to achieve, but what it is he's going to achieve. He sees it as though it's already done. And there's an old saying that goes something like this, and it talks about acting as if is not lying, it's telling the truth in advance. And so when you look at the meerkat, they are incredibly organized. The reason for their ability to survive under all kinds of conditions is the way in which they organize their communities, even to the point that the parents will go out hunting and they'll leave adult nurses behind to look after their young. They've got sentries to give warnings when the enemy is close by, and everything is beautifully organized. And so when you think of people like the Iron Cowboy, and what a great example he is, James Lawrence, one of the things that struck me is that he acts like a real meerkat, and that's how we're all meant to act, to be highly organized in those things we believe are right for us. So the name of the meerkat is Deputus, D-E-P-U-T-I-S. The D-E stands for clearly describe what it is you wish to achieve. And in getting that clarity, please remember the importance of visualizing as though it has already been done. So clearly lay it out. The subconscious mind will accept it as reality, especially when you feed it a clear, undeniable vision.
You treat it as past tense, not future tense.
Absolutely correct, because the subconscious mind doesn't care whether it's fact or fantasy. So you feed it what you know you're going to achieve, and it accepts it as though it's already done. So DE, describe it clearly. PU, well, what is the purpose behind it? So if you put a high purpose, it has a passion behind it, it gives you the value that drives your desire, that causes you to achieve. It causes you to get up every time you get knocked down. So it's very important to have what are the benefits that you're going to receive as a result of achieving a particular goal. So describe it clearly, what is its purpose, and then the TI stands for timeline. The mind is a goal-setting mechanism, and it needs a timeline for it to know that you are serious and moves you into action. So TI has put a timeline, a beginning time and an end time that you're going to complete the goal. And last of all, the S in Deputus is lay out your strategy so that you've got clear steps forward into the future and be flexible and adjust along the way as necessary. So Deputus, the meerkat.
Deputus, the meerkat, and for an endurance event, 30 full Ironmans across 11 countries in 1 year. And I've done some endurance events. I've done a cycling event from Knott's Berry Farm here in Orange County all the way up to World Vision's headquarters in Seattle. And I thought that was a feat. 10 days, 140 miles a day of cycling. And I know that the calorie intake, the things that I had to endure was I thought, incredible. But 30 Ironmans, that's just north of...
Yeah, I don't know how the body takes that, other than what Roger's talked about and we all talked about. He's well prepared.
Right.
He has really focused on what he's going to do, so he's brought his body to it, but almost more importantly, he's brought his mind to it. And these principles that Roger is bringing to us, I mean, literally, this is such a gift to radio because Roger is hired by corporations to come in. He's paid big-time money to bring these concepts, and the companies that he's worked with are off the charts
And
every single time.
And this is the foundation of our Be a Beast 12-process training system. You can find out more about that. Contact us direct, extremefocus.com, 888-888-2136. Will reach us on the phone or text the word BEAST to 313131. As we go through the holidays here, we have to bring our attention back to Operation Homefront, where returning veterans, military personnel, wounded warriors go through a process where they are allowed to move into a property. That property is completely rehabbed. Those families are responsible for the taxes, insurance, and maintenance on the property. And at the end of a 12 to 18-month window, that property is awarded to those veterans, those veteran families, free and clear, as a gesture of thanks for their military service. Dave, you know the impact of that.
Well, I love this because, you know, growing up with my father being in the military, 30-year Navy chaplain, I got to see firsthand what it's like for veterans to come back from war and see how challenging it is now getting back into real life. So anything we can do to help them on this journey, because we get our freedom. We get to do this radio show because of the freedom they go out there and bring to us each and every day.
Here's how you start 2014. It's with a Be a Beast training system. Dave Austin and myself, Nelson, will bring this to you. Find out more. You can click through at extremefocus.com. Call us direct, 888-888-2136, or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. This is our Be a Beast on Angels Radio, AM 830, with mental performance coach Dave Austin and myself, Nelson. Business leader and professional coach Nelson Mandela said it best: it is impossible until it is done. Reach out to us. You can call us direct, 888-888-2136. Click through at extremefocus.com and see the video that we have of James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy's incredible story, or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. From the locker room to the boardroom, we're going to guide you to success and performing like a beast. Next week, the unknown billionaire, his view on success, losing it and recapturing success. You can be a beast. Have a great week. Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my Mortgage Market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with the peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.